everyone, this is Big Mama. I just finished my design team project for February 2024 for Dear Julie Julie. And I want to start out my video by saying thank you, Julie, for giving me this opportunity to be on your design team for the last 6 months. It has been a pleasure. I love working with your digitals. Even before I was able to be on the design team, I found that because they are vintage pieces that you already own and the way you've done them, it gave me the opportunity to add them into old books and things, and they were simply timeless. So thank you for making these digitals and giving me that opportunity. I had the digital kit for the Winter Follies. And with that Winter Follies, I wanted to do an Art Deco style journal. But our design team were working with the older kits that she has. So I was trying to decide what do I want to put with Winter Follies, and Peacocks just kept coming to mind. And I know that the Peacock digitals have been used by other team members, so this is my spin on it, trying to make it look like something back in the 1920s. So I hope that you'll go with me. Let's go back in time and see what we come up with. I am not showing you the Winter Follies digital. I'm just trying to push Peacocks. So here we go. This is one of the pages, and I don't have the whole kit printed out like this because they're in the journal. So here's a page, and then I printed this one, but you'll notice that these are larger, and the journal I have is a bit smaller, so I did not use these bigger pages as side-by-sides. This one I printed on a coffee-dyed paper, and so I want you to see the difference in the colors. This one, I actually am drawn to this more because I love the old look to it. Then I printed this one on some music paper that I had, and so that'll be good. And then here are some of the tall tags that she had, and this is one of the pages. I also had printed this on some brown packaging paper, and so I did use some of it in the journal with the brown packaging paper. It turned out incredible. So used an old book, and this is called the Beacon First Reader. Used this is actually a metallic lace, and I put it side by side to cover up where I'd sewed the signatures in through the spine, and so then covered up the stitches there to secure it, and then left the back nice and used by the student, and did the 2 holes here, ran the sari silk up through here. And this sari silk is from Flamingo Girl, Chrissy, and I got to go over and visit with her, and she gave me some sari silk, and I told her I was going to use it in my journal because it went really, really well with the peacocks that's inside. And then I have a vintage shank button here that I used to close that with, and so I just tie the bow, and then I sew it together so that the bow doesn't come undone, and you just squeeze, give it a squeeze, and it will slide right off of there. But then when you release it, it will hold it just fine. So that is the outside of the journal. And the inside, I took layers of lace and just picked up out of my box just how the pieces were. This is one of the Winter Follies. And so I made a little booklet here and used some of my washi tape for the Art Deco. And then this was Artie Mae's, was a freebie of hers that I've had for quite a while and keep forgetting to use it. So I'm going to go to the center and show you how I put this together. Well, or maybe I won't. Anyway, I took 2 pages and ran some washi tape and did 2 pages together in washi tape and then glued it into the spine here so that you have a little notebook. And then just watercolored some old book page. So that is how I did that one. And then I have a postcard here that I covered with some paper. And where I sewed the button on, I sewed it with some of the heavy button thread and then glued that bow in place. So that's how the button is sewn on. And then I've got the pocket here and then the pocket here, and I kind of tattered the edge on this one. So I've got those. Try to keep my mess straightened out so that I could put it back together. Then printed her digital on some sheer curtain that I had, and I had taken a book page and had watercolored on it, so I just tore the book page strips and accordion folded it for a ruffle on the edge and put some gold on the edges of it. And then on the other side of it, this is her digital, and I covered the back. This is a book page where I had taken, I have to make sure, yes, you can see up here where the words have been pulled off, and I watercolored on it. And then here I used a napkin and put a leaf on there, and this just comes undone, and you can write a little legacy note there, and then made a rosette here with some of my scraps of paper. So this hides behind there, and then this comes down to hide that, and the edge of the rosette catches this. I have a old magazine here. I have several, but this is a 1950, well, this is the 25, but inside it's 1951, 15 one too. And this is an ad that was in it. And so I took some stationery that I had, and it has a statement, Jane Austen, on there, and put some napkin on that. And have up here in the corner, I took a coffee stained doily, put it on some tracing paper, then trimmed it out in the gold so the doily is strengthened with the tracing paper for that corner pocket or corner tuck. And tuck, 2-sided glued pocket, 3 sides. I'm learning. And so then this is a Julie digital, and I then put a dictionary page here, and out of that old magazine I showed you, there is a New York Dramatic Theater one, and so I took ads out of it, and you'll see that in here, and I'll probably even add more because I'm really liking the look of the cell bills in there. And so there's like one up here. And this is some of that brown packing paper that I just put some watercolor on. And I used also the metallic watercolor to give it a shimmer. And another ad down here. Took my little, this is some music paper that I have, and took and punched it and watercolored it. And then here was page out of the Dramatic and magazine, and then took some book page here, pulled off the words, watercolored it, and created a tag there using the butterflies come off of Julie's Peacock digital, and then this is with the folly, the little gal is. And then this is from the Peacock digital. And I put the tracing paper on here to give the old magazine page strength, and you can write on it. And then some more of the tracing paper, and I took the tracing paper and did a fancy fold and some gold on it, and you just do a pleat, and then you cut it, and then you fold the edges back to create that little picot on it. And I have taught this technique for like 30 years on wrapping gifts, and so why not take some of the things you've done for years and use it in your journals. And then this has got the little gal from the Follies and some of Julie's peacocks in there with her, and some book page on the back, and some more tracing paper to strengthen that, a little bit more of the advertisement, and then this actually says Peacock down here. And here is where I printed the digital on the brown packaging paper, and then I just did an accordion fold up here to make it shorter instead of cutting it off, because I didn't want to lose this guy or this guy, and this was blank in the middle, so I just accordion folded it and added some gold to make it fit in the space for a belly band. And this is from Maddie at Spectrum Arts. That's her little logo down on the bottom. And I've had this for a couple of years now, several of them, and I thought, well, I should use them. And so that little peacock goes really good in there. Then these are her digitals from the Peacock. And I took and watercolored around the edge. And when you have a digital, I want you to, do you see that little brown line there? When you get a digital wet, it creates something with the ink and causes that. But I really like the effect of that water edge. And so when I put the watercolor on, I used my watercolor brush and just lightly put the watercolor on and watched that fade in, and then went back around the edge with the gold. And so I love the gilding. I think that every era should have some gilding. And so there, and then I just put it on the book page where I pulled with tape, I pulled the words off so that you could write on it. And this page actually is a book page that I put some watercolor on. And that's the end of the first signature, and this is the other side of that material with Julie's digital printed on that sheer. And then we're going into the next one. And I took a stencil, and with watercolors, first I went in with the stencil with the brown Stabilo pencil that will, when it gets wet, it kind of bleeds, and then went in with watercolor on there that's got that metallic blue watercolor, and then created a belly band here. And it took some just random words, and then this here is part of the, when you pull the pages off of the book and you've got where it's been glued to the tape and stuff, that's what this is a piece of. And I had a bigger piece of that I could have showed you, and had it actually here and moved it. Go figure, huh? And this is a sticker that I use that has that Art Deco look. And then this is Julie's digital, and made the little rosettes up here at the top. And it's on, again, some book pages that have been watercolored. I shopped from your crafting source and had got these little frames, and had forgot that I had them, found them the other day. And so I took 2 of these, put plastic in the middle of them, watercolored around them, and made myself a pocket. And then I was able to, I did art before breakfast with Cheryl, and she was doing some embossing, and I have one embossing folder, and I embossed this. I think I embossed this so thick I must have ran it through like 10 times because I didn't know for sure if it was going to work and I was afraid to check. And so, yeah, kind of put some holes. So I glued that straight down onto this index card. But then went over it with glue, and these are gilding flakes. And so I just rubbed on glue stick, rubbed on the gilding flakes, and then flaked it off. And we had been working on doing something with these tea bag tags. And I like that this one says specially blended for favorite books, and my journal is a favorite book. So did that and put some beads on there. And so had you both in here, Julie and Cheryl. You girls went together just as good as the Follies went with the Peacocks. And that's what I love about our community of crafters. We all go together so well. And so here is out of the magazine, in the New York Drama magazine, and that's 1915. And I love this page, and I thought it went really well with the music and everything because they're there to have a good time. You're going to have a hoedown, or the waltz, I don't know. And then I have an antique postcard that is 1911, and I just thought that the graphics on here went beautiful with this. So there they are. And then over here, I love this paper with the peacocks and everything. So I went and did a graphic geometric shapes instead of organic, and put gold on it and lined it then with some of the magazine ads. And then this was a guy that was in the magazine. I thought, oh, you can't have girls. Where's the word folly come in if it's not, there's some guys involved. And so then I put, this is a peacock napkin. And it says that it was a surprise that he has a voice. So this guy can sing, and they are surprised. And so this is a napkin that's on here too. And so right about the time that you found out that you could sing, or that you were surprised that somebody else could. And that will be a good story to put in your legacy journal here. And this is Bohemian Crafter, I think is her name. And this was one of her book pads. And then this is antique journal that I had, and some more of the doilies, and I did 2 tucks here in Julie's digitals, and some more of that packaging paper. And I will probably add some more advertisement to that, and this, and this. And so what I did here was I took 2 pieces of stationery and glued them together in the middle because I wanted a little bit more on there, and I did not want to lose that picture. So the other side of this, when you get those old stationery boxes, they'll have the printed piece, and then they'll have plain, because you know you're going to write a long letter, and so you don't want to put pretty the whole time. So this is that spare page. And so this page I just folded up over and made a little pocket, and took Julie's digital of the peacock and splattered it with gold, and then took her Follies girl down here, added some lace there, and then zigzagged around the edge and inked it and did the gold gilding on it, because I hope that I'm getting that to where you guys can see it. When you go in and paint in the little zigzag, you've got those triangles. I think it looks cool. Here, when I put this in, I just tacked down a little bit here to create a belly band pocket on the edge. Took the digital, and here is another part of the digital with this page. This was done on the packing paper, and I backed it then with another piece and made this to where it's just a trifold piece of paper for you to write on. And that's that Bohemian Crafters. Oh, sorry. Let me put you back so then I can take you out again. So I didn't cut it off. I put that just as a flap down. And I had this piece of lace here that the other part of it has the buttons. And so this is so that you can button up a wedding dress. And so this was a scrap. And so I picked it up and I just glued it here and here to create that tuck. And for Julie's Follies, put it on the book page. And so I've got that card that tucks up under here. And then this closes down on it. And so if you're not holding your book up like this, showing everybody, that actually does hold it in place really well as you're flipping the pages like this. And here's some more of the music page. And this was a gal in the magazine in an advertisement for washing your clothes. And so I just cut her out because it works really well with the back of this page. And these are in the digital. And so I put those for journaling cards. And then this little guy is in the digital, and so I fussy cut it. And so you have a page here you can write on. And did some more of that sticker, and it's on a ruffle, and then on the other side is a ruffle, and that's the end of 2. And going into 3, yay, you guys are probably tired of listening to me. And so I did an accordion fold here, added some old lace here, put it on book page here. Oh my gosh, Big Daddy's home. You're going to hear the you're going to hear the dog bark, and I just hope that he doesn't raise too much of a ruckus when he comes in, but you're going to see him. He's going to pop in this door, and I'm going to go, I'm videoing. So here is the page out of the magazine, and so some Julie digital here, and then here I did 2 pockets on the corner. And I might stop him before he gets too far in here. Nah, you guys want to see Big Daddy. So I'm going to let him sneak in. There he is. Say hi, Big Daddy. No, I am videoing. Bye. You're now in the video. I did that to him. That was live. And so here she has on the digital, I printed that on that packing paper. And so I love that sound. And so I did a little band across here that's going to hold this into place. Put a piece of paper in there for you to be able to write on. And so just watercolored it and put gold on the edge. And then that slips in there. And left this for your journaling amusement, and did some watercolor on here. And again, there's some watercoloring. He's warming up lunch. It's easy. I'll fix me some baked chicken. He's going to be able to warm up. There you go. And stationery. And then this, I took just a scrap, and I was playing around with a coffee filter. And I accordion folded that coffee filter and made it into the peacock's feathers. And went through with the watercolor and put the colors that I thought would be really good for my peacock. And then this is a napkin that I put on the piece of cardstock, cut around it, and then this is a piece of lace that I put here for the rest of the peacock. And so glued it here, and so did in the signature, but so made a little pocket here using her card, and a little pocket here. And so there's the peacock. and then cut that edge and painted it with all my little peacock colors. Went around, watercolored, and here we go. Coming down to the wire, and here I had brought this around, and then this is part of the digital, and so I glued it over here and here and extended out this belly band, and then this is a digital also, and just put it on the index card that has been coffee stained, and I have a whole bunch from Susan Taylor Brown, and so I know that this is Susan's contribution. And well, let's just talk about all the Susans. You see that gold splatter. I know she didn't invent it, but this is Susan Gasway, and she does a lot of splattering, and she went down a rabbit hole. I went down to get her. I got lost in the rabbit hole, and now you can find us because all you have to do is follow the splatter trail. So that's Susan Gasway and Susan Taylor Brown. This is digital, and put it on the magazine page. And then I had a book page that I took some of the napkin. I watercolored on the book page, so that left the pages in here. But sometimes you can get a page at the end of a chapter that had no words, and so this one was one of those pages, and so I just watercolored on it. And then I had this pretty lace here that I thought went really well with the peacocks, and so I put that lace there, and then can just tuck the flap down inside it. And then it goes, when I glued this, I glued it just on the four corners, so you can either tuck something in there or go through the side. So it's open except for the points of the four corners to be able to put something in there. And I found that my little peacock just fit really well in there, and so that's what I decided to do there. And that's the end of that page. And then I used the music here because I had a scrap of it left, and put the gold on the edge of it. And then this is my back pocket, and I took, this is some of that brown paper that has the peacock feathers on it, splatter painted it. This has a wonderful poem out of an old book that I had, her Follies. And then here I have some old papers, and I saw that tag laying here, and I just grabbed it. And this was all hand stitched onto this piece of lace because the integrity of the spine was not very good. And so what I did was I made the big piece of lace with the pockets, glued that down onto this to hold it together. And it has some of the bookmaker's tape inside the spine here to make sure that it doesn't rip apart, and then the lace covers up that bookmaker's tape. And then I sewed my signatures in through the spine and covered them up to hold them all into place. So there it is. This is my peacock folly, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that this is the end of me being on the design team, and I have a house full of guests going to be coming, and so I won't be doing the next one. But boy, you got to support Julie. What she does for us every day by having these live moments where we can get together and chat, and it's just wonderful how she keeps this community going and how we have been able to connect with each other and inspire each other. It's amazing. So go to her Etsy shop and buy some follies, buy some peacocks, enjoy yourself. And this is Big Mama over and out.